Hey you guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing a makeup tutorial. So let's get started. If you don't mind, excuse the weird lighting. I have my mirror right here on the side that has like a light to it. But let's get into it. So I'm gonna start off with my Ulta Beauty Moisturizing Primer Spray. Just gonna give this a little test spray and then spray it all over our face. Yeah, it's cold. It's really cold. And then we're gonna fan it. Wait for it to dry. It's a bit cold in my house, so I'm wearing a sweater. Just gonna wait for it to dry. How have you guys been? I know it's been a hectic year for 2020 with the COVID and everything. Make sure you keep your friends and families close. Be safe, wear a mask. Do everything you can to protect yourself and your family. Making sure this is almost dry. Alright, next we're going to go into foundation. I have the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Long Wear Foundation Pro Filter in the shade 410. This is the foundation I choose to use, but you can use any foundation that you have. This is just the one that works best for me at the moment. So I'm going to take, I don't know why I'm shaking it, it's just a force of habit. I'm going to take about a pump on my hand. And I'm going to take it on a brush and apply it to my face. So I'm going to look in the mirror for this. Just going to apply it with the brush all over the face. And once this is evenly distributed, I like to use what I call the Ali Glines method. She's a beauty YouTuber here on YouTube. And she does what I am about to do, which is you do it with the brush, make sure it's nice and distributed. And then you take a little bit more foundation on your hand, just a little bit. I did like half of a pump. You take a wet beauty blender and you soak up the product off of your hand onto the beauty blender so that it creates a barrier. And then you blend your foundation. And then, once you feel like you have it all blended, down the chin, so you don't have a weird foundation line, we can move on to concealer. For concealer today, I have the Fenty Beauty, I know, I love Fenty Beauty, Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 330. I'm just going to take a little bit of that under the eyes, on my chin. I have a little bump there. And then, well, this is a more natural look, so that's about it. I was gonna do a whole glam look, but I'll keep this one natural. Oh, it just blended. Trying to conceal the bump that I have there. That's about it. I use a little bit too much, but you just blend until you feel comfortable. Sorry if you can hear my dogs running in and out of the house. We have the door open. I'm just taking the extra and putting it on top of the eyelid. Okay. Next, we move on to setting powder. For setting powder, you want to tap out your concealer just to make sure there aren't any creases. And then I'm going to go in with the IT Bye Bye Pores Illumination Concealer powder in the shade Radiant Translucent. If I can open it right. This is what it looks like, sorry. There we go. I'm just going to take that on a powder brush and dust it underneath the eyes and on top of my eyelids. This is just for the eyes now, because we're going to use a different powder for the whole face. This is just a brightening powder, so we use it under the eyes. And then I'm going to take the Clinique powder in O2 Transparency in the lid. I spilled that one a while ago, so I can't really tilt it. So I'm just going to put this on the brush, tap off the excess, and run that all over the face. And next, we move on to bronzer. Now with bronzer, I'm using the Fenty Beauty bronzer in the shade Beijing Gal. And we're going to take this on our brush. It's going to be fun. Love bronzer. I love bronzer. Although it doesn't really show up on my complexion all that much, so I have to get a deeper one. We're just going to apply it to the cheekbones, to the jawline, to the forehead, towards the hairline. Same thing on the other side. Cheekbones. Well, more like this, like below your cheekbone, so that it makes your cheekbones pop out. And your jawline. And we already did our hairline. And then after that, you can do blush. I personally don't use blush all that often. I usually use it on special occasions. But let's move on to highlighter, my favorite part. For highlighter, I have the Too Faced Turn Up the Light highlighter from the Born This Way collection in the shade Deep. And I'm going to take the glow portion, and I'm going to apply that to the top of my cheekbones on an e.l.f. highlighter brush. For just like a natural highlighter. Now we will move on to eyes. I'm going to scoot up a little bit. We're going to take an eyeshadow base or an eyeshadow primer, and we're going to prime our eyelids. And blend it with our finger. Now you can use any palette that you have. I'm using a more neutral palette that I have. Let's use this hand. On hand. And I am going into my first palette, my Morphe 9B Bronzed Babe palette. Get my roller brushes out. These are from ColourPop. I'm going to take the E15, but I'm going to pack on the colors. I'm going to clean it off on the back on my hand first, just to make sure that I don't have any from my past looks on my hand, on my brush. I'm going to take an E17 and dip into Hang 10 to set the eyeshadow primer. This is a bit of a deeper shade than me, so it's gonna add like a tint to the eyelids. You can use a shade more towards your skin tone if you want to, you know, go even lighter of an eye look. Got some powder in my eye. Okay, we're good. Next, we're going to dip into Road Trip. Road Trip. And we're going to put that in the crease. And blend it out up towards the brow bone. So you're just gonna blend it. You're good. You're gonna do the same thing on the other eye. I use the same brush. It's easy. It's not easier to use the same brush. It's easier to use multiple brushes, but you use what you have, you know. I just use circular motions, circular windshield wiper motions. This is what it should look like, if you can see it, you know. It's brown on brown, so. And I'm going to stop there. We can do more in-depth looks later. But I am now going to take the shade, do I want to do Vacay or do I want to do Faux Real? Let's do Faux Real. I'm going to take the shade Faux Real. It's a nice golden copper bronzy color. Those are 3 different colors that I just named and said they were the same. We're going to take Faux Real on our finger. You don't need a brush. Your finger does the best work when it comes to shimmer shades. If the shimmer shade works. And we're going to press that all over the lid. You can always take a wet brush if you don't want to use your finger, but for me, I use my finger. Sorry, I was not in the shot at all. I apologize. Just apply that all over the lid. Wow, it's like it used to show up. But I've used this shade. I've used this shade so much that it's not adhering to my finger. we go. We got it. Just take some patience. Next, if you want to do eyeliner, I suggest if you're starting out with eyeliner to do a thin line above your top lash line. But I stopped doing eyeliner because my lines would end up thick and I could never sharpen the pencil. So I'm skipping that step. I'm gonna put our brushes away. And next we'll move on to mascara. For mascara, I am using the Tarte Man-Eater mascara in the shade Black. I think that's the only shade that they have. So we're just going to apply. I'm going to use my mirror for this. I'll even move it over. So. I don't know if you can see me, if you guys can see me. I'm going to apply it just to my upper lashes. And then last, move my mirror back. Last but not least, we still have to do brows. And I am using for a natural look, I'm using the Gimme Brow by Benefit in the shade, I don't want to use 4.5. 1 second. I'm going to use Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade 5. I found it. We're just gonna get that on there. Brush through the brows. See how it I'm gonna turn this off. See how it darkens the brow just a bit? Oh, I messed up a little bit. That's okay. Hold on, let me use my mirror. I'm getting a bit messy. There we go. Now, last but not least, lips. And for lips today, I am using ColourPop Luxe Gloss in the shade Come Through. And we are just going to apply this all over the lips. And that, you guys, is how you get a natural, everyday makeup look. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.